Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play. Remember 11, the Age of Infinity. Now, I was just looking at this screen, and I do think that this is 47% of the game I've completed so far. So, I think that's the number of scenes I've done so far. I was trying to figure that out before, and I guess it was too early in the game to. But I think at least this is pretty dead set total, meaning total done of the whole game. So, wow, almost there, sorta. Oh, and it just pumped up another minute. So, I think this is hours and minutes there. 32. Spent a little bit of time playing this game. So, just an interesting statistic there that I noticed when I was saving the game, which, oh, another thing I noticed, you only have 60 saves. Why you skipping on the saves, game? Why you gotta be stingy? Okay, just observations. Examine the desk. Well, we know he's gonna have to get something off the desk to be able to write stuff down, or at least there was notebook paper or notebook that Kokoro had seen from him. So I check out the desk. The objects arrayed across it met my eyes. Notepad and felt tip pen lay there. I left a message on this notepad. She could read it when the transfer occurred, and she could reply to me in the same way. As long as she left a note behind, then I'd be able to read it once I came back to SPHIA. This is my room. No, should I say? It's Kokoro's room too. Anyway, this was our private space, so whenever she was in the facility, she'd always come here. This somewhat old-fashioned means of communication isn't exactly what you'd call a luxury, but for now, I can't think of a better way. And luckily, I don't think there's anybody nosy that might end up looking at this. I took the pen in hand and immediately set about writing a message. But what should I write about? With some hesitation, I put the pen back down. Hadn't heard any details from the three in SPHIA yet. It probably won't be too late to write a message later. Wrote something unreliable, it only confused her further. Yeah. He never writes anything confusing, or says anything confusing. Leaving notepad blank, I moved away from the desk. Next I should... I really don't know. I bet we're going to have to check everything. Let's check the shelves. What's he reading? Decided to examine the shelves. The shelves at the foot of the bed, lying next to the alarm clock, were two things. The first was something like a card, and the other was a small metal object. Picked up the card first. He had that at the beginning, didn't he? Just doing some quick math here. Okay, 6, 8. I was gonna see if they were going to be clever and try to make all the numbers add up to 11. You know, because they like to make 11 something, you know, and everything. Second one adds up to 9. So yeah, they didn't do it on that one. We could do Satoru 133 or 1331222398001. That was engraved into the surface of the plastic card. It looked like some kind of ID card. I turned the card over, but there was nothing worth describing on the back. My ID card. What was it used for? When? Where? And for what? Not a very good ID card if ain't got your picture on it. Just saying. Unless it has like a strip on the back where you can slide it into something. But yeah, ID card isn't really good if it doesn't have like a photo ID to where and because I could totally, you know, heck, I could get like an ID card that says I don't know, Tom Hanks. Put a random number there and be like, hey guys, I'm Tom Hanks. I'm freaking Forrest Gump. I like running. But yeah, I bet it has some like a strip on the back to where you could put slide it in to access stuff, you know. Come think of it, Sumi said this to me yesterday.
ここのスタッフだったはずよ。でも今は確信が持てなくなってしまったわ。もしかしたらあなたは最初からここの患者だったのかもしれない。
So which one is it? Guess I could make it make more sense. Here's another thing though. But, you know, it would still need a photo ID. Because just because they're crazy don't mean you can't think. So somebody could be like, hey guy, how you doing? You doing alright? That's cool. Yeah, that's very cool. How you doing? Okay, later. And then you walk away and you have like another ID card. And you put yours on that guy. Just saying, you know. That could cause some confusion and a potential way of escaping, I guess. So, yeah. That's what it is, and that's not a very good thing to do. I mean, that wouldn't be foolproof. If ID cards need your picture. Staff or a patient? If I was a staff member, then this ID card was probably for the use of SPHIA personnel. If I was a patient, what then? It's not like it's strange for patients to have ID cards. This place requires all patients to carry an ID card. Don't understand. I decided to put the card in my pocket for now. Next, I picked up the small metal object. You could set a key. It's just a garden variety key. Ah, small metal object. Ah, close up, it's a key. You could have just said there was a card and a key on there. You didn't have to say a small metal object. 2 grooves were carved down the center, and both sides had complicated patterns engraved in them. With just one glance, I could tell that it wasn't a key for a bike or any kind of automobile. It didn't seem to be the key to a drawer or a safe either. Well, like an ordinary house key. Okay, I was going to say, what kind of key is it? It was a key that can't be described except with the word metal object or key. After picking it up, I took a look around me. First thing I thought of was that it could be the key to this room. Without further ado, I opened the door and tried to put in a lock on the other side, but it didn't fit. That proved that this wasn't the key to this door. I hadn't noticed any other keyholes around. Thus it too remained a mystery. Maybe to the clock tower or something. Assuming he said something about he was the only one who might know how to get there or something. I didn't understand what those items were for, but I decided to stop thinking about them for now. Put the key in the same pocket as my ID card. Next time, checked out the bed. I removed the pillow and the covers. The white sheets were spotlessly fresh and clean. Goodness, I'm glad that Kokoro isn't the bedwetter. Oh no, I'm sharing my bed with the bedwetter. What am I going to do? That would be really strange. I mean, that would actually be, I don't know, really awkward. Like, so Kokoro, I noticed something different about my bed this morning. Could you put some rubber sheets around, you know, those sorts of fail safes. So hopefully you're comfortable enough. I stooped to look under the bed. Nothing, not so much as a scrap of litter here. Just in case I decide to check in their mattress too. Grab the edge and raise it high. You don't have a good memory. It's a good thing he doesn't have any sort of those types of literature hidden around. Did Kokoro put this in here? That'd be really, really awkward. Or did you put this magazine of stuff here? Magazine had been hidden under the mattress. At first I was flustered thinking that its contents were I guess it's such a trope, stereotype that. Well, I hope from the picture there it's not, because that would be really, really strange. Or either maybe it's not wrong to say I was hoping. Satoru wants some of his Big Booty magazine, I suppose. But sadly, it wasn't one of those magazines. Kokoro, I would like to request a different type of magazine next time. Could you go and get the newest issue of Big Booty magazine instead of this one? Politics, economics, society, culture, entertainment, the week's current events and gossip topics, news, reviews, in other words, an ordinary weekly magazine. Current Events Weekly was written on the cover. Then right below it's July 21st. 320 yen. Oh wait, that's probably. Oh, that's 329. Oh wait, that may be one of the few times you'll hear me say Big Booty. So, hope you enjoyed that. I was thinking about saying that a few seconds ago, but I kept from doing it. You know, I should probably just let loose. I mean, this is a fairly mature. I don't like outright swear, but you know, this is a fairly mature series, so I could probably make a little bit more risque jokes than I do. Those jokes that pop to mind, but more prevalently than others. That's the word I tried to think of. The cover also included an illustration, but didn't contain any writing. Yeah, it doesn't tell you anything except that kid's thinking about fish as he's fishing. What year was this issue from? That's something that would be a good thing to know. Picked up the magazine. After replacing the mattress, I sat down on the bed. I decided to check the back cover. Along with the publisher, editor, and some other names, I found the following description. Issue 7/21/2011. That's about half a year ago. I tried flipping through the pages. A certain article caught my eye. How plane crash survivor finally found. Found after 7 days in extreme conditions. Wait a second. Why would there be an article in July? Wait a second. I think I'm reading it wrong. Dang it. How do I go back? No, okay. Okay, I did read it right. It was July 21st. Because there's no 21st month. Okay. Okay, well. Okay, I'll go with it. That in itself wasn't particularly astonishing. I already knew what that headline had to be about. How about the contents? There might be some useful information in them. Taking this, I scanned the article. To sum it up, the control tower lost a plane signal at about 3:30 p.m. on January 11, 2011. Yeah. Okay, here's the question. Did it take them 6 months almost to find Uni? They said that they got there about 7 hours after the avalanche. Was Uni not there? The last known location was in the sky over the southern mountain range of Aomori Prefecture. The police and related boroughs assembled a special rescue team and immediately commenced the search for a fallen airframe and the passengers. However, despite the ongoing investigations and searches, not a trace of the wreckage could be found. More precisely, the search lasted 6 days. For about a week, the state of the investigation remained unchanged. The whereabouts of the airframe are as yet unknown. Even among the other plane crash incidents that happened in our country, this was an exception among exceptions, an unprecedented event. The sudden disappearance of Flight HAL 18 during the week before the airframe was found. Japan was in an uproar. Here's another question, actually, or another observation. Wonder if somehow artificial intelligence will come into play here in this game. I'm not seeing anything specific that draws it to mind now, except for maybe like the memory transplant. And of course, I did ask and make sure, but I was thinking maybe there had been a terabyte disk in this game before, but that was in the Ever 17, and it wasn't about an AI. It was the backup to Sora's AI, if you know what I'm talking about, which you probably do. I mean, Ever 17 is the most popular of these games, so the fact that you would have hit Remember11, loved the game, played it through it, and never played it Ever 17 would have been pretty strange. But anyway, HAL was the AI that went crazy lunatics in 2001: A Space Odyssey. I almost said 2011: A Space Odyssey. That's a very similar date, actually. HAL 18? I don't know what 18 would be. Significance over. But yeah, that's just what I'm thinking. I wonder if that might be something that's kind of been played under that we don't know about, but it is a major thing. Just thought. It's probably not a thing, but just, I mean, since it's artificial intelligence used in the Endeavor 7. Can't remember. I don't think it was. Speculations flew, even including those that credited the crash to something paranormal. Might have crashed into the Sea of Japan, or been shot down by a fighter plane from a certain country. No, it was accidentally hit by a ground-to-air missile. Kidnapped by UFO, swallowed into a different dimension. Flight 18 never existed in the first place, and so on. Maybe they went down because there was something on the wing. Something. Of course, all those theories were mere speculation, and all of them were wrong. The authorities would later explain the cause of the delay of the discovery of the airframe as follows. Between the time the control tower lost sight of the aircraft and the time of the crash, there was a blank of about 30 minutes. Okay. In this time, Flight 18 appeared to have been flying at a low altitude, weaving its way through the mountain range. Herewith, the wreckage was found in a place far away from the crash point predicted by the authorities. Nobody observed Flight 18's low-altitude meandering. Flight 18 was making its way through a mountainous area in the dead of winter, a highly abnormal flight path. There were no private homes in the surrounding area, and nobody around who could have heard the sound of the crash. Bad weather conditions. At that time, the entire Mount Okakura area was constantly subjected to bad weather. Therefore, conducting an investigation was difficult. The effects of the solar winds, the most intense solar winds ever recorded in history. The disturbance resulted in the malfunction of the reconnaissance satellites. The use of a satellite photography was also impossible. The above was the official statement concerning the lost week, released by the authorities. Well then, on the contrary, how could the rescue team reach the site in the afternoon of the 17th? They simply said, "We got a phone call." Early on the morning of the 16th, the authorities received a phone call from a man claiming it to be a survivor of Flight 18. The gist of it was that there were 4 people in the shelter cabin on Mount Okakura in need of rescue. Immediately after that, the call was cut off. Tracing the call to its original, they found that the caller had made use of a satellite phone line. That line, used by the satellite phone, was also malfunctioning at the time due to the effects of the solar winds. The chances of getting a proper connection in the year 2011 was 1 in 1 million. Therefore, receiving a call from the survivors was an event that couldn't be described as anything short of a miracle. Incidentally, if not for that phone call, the authorities probably never would have been able to pinpoint the exact location of the crashing time. Anyway, after receiving that information, the authorities attempted to search the area by helicopter right away. But even so, from the 15th until daybreak on the 17th, that whole Mount Akakura was in the midst of a severe storm. They couldn't even fly the helicopter in the wet weather. The mountain rescue team would have gotten there on foot from the base of the mountain, but not without extreme difficulty. The shelter cabin was near the peak of Mount Akakura. No matter how skilled at climbing the team members were, in estimation it would have taken them a week or more to reach the cabin. In the end, there was no other option than to wait for the weather to improve. On the afternoon of the 17th, there was a break in the storm, and thus the rescue unit at last managed to arrive on scene. This is the important part. If not for the historical truth of the successful connection of the satellite phone on the 16th, then the rescuers would never have arrived on the 17th. And if that were so, then the report of the discovery of the wreckage on Mount Akakura would have also been delayed. In other words, it's like this. If the phone hadn't connected on the 16th, the rescuers wouldn't have arrived on the 17th. That report would have been made later on. Well, I was about to say, why is he repeating the same crowd? We know this. If you were to ask me, so what? Then I have to answer with, that's about it. But anyway, this was somehow bothering me. I decided to follow ways in a corner of my mind. Article continued on January 17th. 27 corpses, all from among the 31 missing passengers and crew members, were discovered at the crash site. A single survivor was also found, Kusuda Uni. Now, what about the remaining 3? The man on the phone had said there are 4 survivors. If you include Uni, then the number of people matches. The shelter cabin also contained evidence that several people had lived there for days. The authorities interrogated Uni about the circumstances of the accident, but Uni was in an unstable mental state and he remained obstinately silent. Days later, the 3 were identified through the passenger list: Yomogi Seiji, Fuyakawa Kokoro, and Mayuzumi Lin. But their whereabouts remained unknown. The 3 that had suddenly vanished became a rich source of material for the mass media. Public speculation began to fly once more. Some of them were pretty far-fetched. There are even those asking, in the struggle over food, did Uni kill the others and then bury them somewhere? That would be pretty crazy. Even in the face of scandals like these, Uni never broke his silence. They say that gossip lasts only for a season. Public interest gradually faded away as well. Time passed, and on July 3rd, 2011, soon arrived. The snow thawed, and the mountain surface revealed the decomposed corpses of 3 people. From here on, it was just the same as the newspaper I read at the shelter cabin. 6:53 on January 17, 2011, the 3 were caught in an avalanche and passed away. The only difference was that the magazine article ended with these questions. How did they survive on Mount Akakura for 7 days at such terrifying temperatures? Even if they knew that help was on its way, why and for what purpose did they leave the shelter cabin? What did Kusada Uni-kun see during those 7 days? Why did he go through? Why does he refuse to speak about it even now? Is he hiding some truth that he doesn't want revealed? Our investigation will get to the heart of the matter next week. Please look forward to it. What the crowd? Yeah, our investigation will get to the bottom of it next week, even if we have to break Uni's toes to get the story out of them. Is that what they're saying? That's what it sounds like they're saying. But if they can find no other information, they gotta make it up. Sounds like a great source of information. The article ended with those misleading words. Almost shot at the magazine. Clucked my tongue, thinking that I might have missed something in the article. I flipped through the pages once more. Something fell out of the magazine with a swish. Bent over and picked it up. It's a plane ticket. from January of 2011. That's interesting. Wonder what that's about. I think we'll find out what it's about next time on Remember 11. So I do hope you folks enjoyed and find out more mysteries and have like 50 billion more questions asked on the next episode. See you there.